We've all been annoyed out of our wits by scam calls, right? Telecoms have blocked more than 549 million scam calls, according to the communications industry's leading body and watchdog. This is all thanks to the Australian Communications and Media Authority for introducing the Reducing Scam Calls Code in December of 2020. But there seems to be no slowing down for crypto scams. Let's find out more. First up, a curbing scam. Data from the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission's Scamwatch shows that phone scam calls have decreased by half since this time last year, while other investment frauds, such as those perpetrated on social media and through text messages, have increased during the same time period. Why is it like that? The Australian Communications and Media Authority's Code for Reducing Fraudulent Calls has seen carriers intercept over 549 million scam calls. But the same can't be said for the scams that are being carried out via texts and social media. The Communications Alliance, the industry's trade group, collaborated with key carriers to create the code, which had been in the works for some years. According to John Stanton, CEO of the Communications Alliance, the code has substantially improved the communication and coordination of action across carriers to identify, trace, and prevent fraudulent calls. The problem is that scammers are really quick. When one medium is closed, they're quick to discover new ways to exploit people. As a result, it's a never-ending car chase to try to stop the action. The code's debut coincided with a significant increase in phone frauds during COVID-19, emphasizing the necessity for coordinated industry response. Most providers, according to Stanton, had mechanisms in place to combat scammers, but combining the processes and establishing legally enforceable accountability allowed to curb this effectively. Next, stay safe. Scammers target Australians with a variety of strategies and technology, with the goal of obtaining money or personal information. The majority of scam calls come from outside Australia. However, some scammers utilize technology to make it appear as if the call's coming from an Australian phone number, a tactic known as spoofing. Many of the calls, ostensibly from the Australian Tax Office, threatening incarceration, instill worry in the recipients that they've forgotten to pay their account and will be arrested. During the COVID pandemic, there have been numerous frauds promising financial rewards to those who have lost their jobs, preying on people's hope. The code requires telecommunication operators to monitor their networks and detect the features of scam calls before blocking them. It also requires participants to notify other telecommunication firms and the regulator about the suspected fraud so that the rest can be aware of it. The coding had proved effective, but the agility of scammers meant the struggle was far from over. Scammers continue to use the phone as their primary method of communication with potential victims. This is largely due to scammers' preference for easy prey. If any of these tick a box, you're a scammer's likely target. A. Have a fixed home phone. B. Are older. And C. Are more likely to be at home to pick up the phone. You know what this means? They mostly prey on our poor old grandparents. The surprising part is that crypto scams are something that even millennials and Gen Z got themselves caught into. Now for crypto scams. According to the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, Australians lost more than $205 million in the first 4 months of 2022, with the majority of the losses coming from crypto investment scams, which surged by more than 300%. The majority of the frauds were sent via text message, which has witnessed a 54% spike in scamming since last year. People should be suspicious of anyone who asks them to invest in or transfer money via cryptocurrencies, particularly if the person is someone they first met online. Many people are unaware of the nuances of cryptocurrencies, making them more susceptible to fraud. This year, a new code will seek to address text messaging in the same way that the phone code did. The Communications Alliance has finalized the document, and it's now under review by ACMA. According to reports, more than 46,000 customers have lost over $1 billion in cryptocurrency to scammers since the start of 2021, which is huge. Last year's losses were approximately 60 times more than the previous years, with an average individual loss of $2,600. The top cryptocurrency consumers indicated they used to pay scammers with Bitcoin, Tether, and Ether. The main issue is that payment transactions in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are final and irreversible. This isn't usually a positive attribute, and one which scammers make full use of. To counter this, people are coming up with some consumer protection tools that allow customers to cancel a transaction if they believe they were wrongfully charged for a product or service. Did you know that most people who have lost cryptocurrency to a scam say it began with a post on some social networking platforms? Yup, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, and Telegram were the most commonly named platforms when it came to crypto scams. Scams involving fake investment opportunities were by far the most common. Reportedly, $575 million in crypto fraud losses related to investment offerings in 2021 alone. People who turned to websites and applications to follow the progress of their cryptocurrency were devastated to find that some of those apps and websites were fake, and they were unable to withdraw their funds. Unlike other scams, crypto fraudsters are more likely to target younger customers. People aged 20 to 49 were more than 3 times as likely as older age groups to report losing cryptocurrency to a scammer, according to the FTC. How can you save yourself from crypto scams? Recognize that cryptocurrency investments never have assured returns, and avoid commercial arrangements that necessitate a Bitcoin purchase. Basically, check, double-check, and triple-check. Next, in other related news, new tech to combat text scams. An Australian company by the name of Telstra has come up with new technology that automatically scans all text messages on its mobile network for dangerous information in an effort to stem the tide of scam SMS messages. Andy Penn, CEO of Telstra, revealed in a blog post on Thursday that the company had seen a huge increase in reports of scam text messages, particularly the FluBot scam, which installed malware on Android smartphones and steals credit cards and other personal information. Telstra received 11,000 reports of fraudulent messages to Android smartphones in 2021, compared to just 50 in 2020. Every mobile device on Telstra's network, even those signed up to other carriers utilizing Telstra's mobile network, such as Belong, has had the technology rolled out and turned on. Before being delivered to customers, the text messages will be automatically analyzed on Telstra's network. If they appear suspicious, Telstra will prohibit them from being delivered. Penn added that in some situations, specialists have to analyze the contents of text messages that had been incorrectly identified, but that the specialist would not be able to access the details of the text message's intended recipient, so it keeps that privacy element intact. And now, free domain names for blockchain users. Blockchain.com announced on Friday that its customers will be able to register for free .blockchain domain names through Unstoppable Domains. In partnership with Unstoppable Domains, 82 million registered users will be able to buy a .blockchain domain. Users may even be able to transact cryptocurrency using crypto addresses with readable names thanks to these new features. Each Blockchain.com wallet will be able to claim a free personalized domain connected with their wallet in the coming weeks. The domain will be a simple crypto address that allows users to transfer assets without having to remember a long string of letters and digits. Phew! Next, Dogecoin founder blames crypto. Dogecoin co-founder Jackson Palmer recently alleged that cryptocurrency is to blame for most of the scams. He revealed that he didn't save any of the Bitcoin since he assumed it was a hoax. This is coming from the founder of Dogecoin himself. After getting disappointed with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, he left the project shortly after its inception. Palmer claims that crypto billionaires are blind and selfish to the fact that others are losing their lives saving to this. He also took a shot at celebrities that promote cryptocurrencies and crypto trading platforms in the most recent interview. Seems like he's off the crypto train for good, eh? And finally, business as usual for scammers. According to a new report from the Federal Trade Commission, or the FTC, cryptocurrency is increasingly being utilized in scams, either as part of the fraud itself or as a means of payment for scammers. In a year, 46,000 people reported losing more than $1 billion in cryptocurrency to scams alone. And this figure is just from the people who've reported the loss. Most victims don't report their losses to the FTC, so we imagine it to be much higher. Despite the fact that the $1 billion figure may not reflect the total amount of money stolen, it does show how much crypto scams have grown. In 2021, reported losses were roughly 60 times higher than in 2018. Losses in the first quarter of 2022 were already half of what they were in the entire year of 2021, and crypto currently accounts for a fourth of the money lost in recorded frauds. That's a wrap for this video. What steps do you take to save yourself from scammers? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.